demonstration, but I just wanted to use this analogy, which has been part of my coursework and part of my training, to use as a to demonstrate what we're trying to achieve with a juicing detox. And I think this is one of the best ways that clearly highlights, and it's something very visual that you'll be able to take away and hopefully remember, especially when you're next in the supermarket. So the whole of my training has been about one disease and one solution. That although we read about in the press and we're told by medical fraternity that there's lots of hundreds of thousands of different diseases and they all need to be treated differently. Really, so many diseases, particularly lifestyle diseases, we're not talking about genetic illnesses, but lifestyle diseases generally come down to one cause, and that's the environment in which we and the cells that our body is bathing in. So it was Louis Pasteur that actually said it's not the germ or the disease, it's actually the environment in which the cells are bathing. So we're going to look at that a little bit more closely now. And what I've got here is a little Nemo fish. So this is to give the impression, to show you a fish in its natural environment, which is nice clean water. Now if the fish was in the river or the sea, obviously there'd be natural plankton and natural microbiome around him or her. But just to show you for this, we've got fish happily swimming in the clean environment. Now, we can call this a pollution-free zone. And you can see the fish is very healthy and happy here. But let's imagine this is me, or a person, during their normal day. So we might wake up in the morning and we might start our day with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. So let's pop that into our environment. So already you can start to see how the environment in which we're in is starting to change. And this is also, if you think not only of us as a human being, but we're made up of thousands and trillions of cells. And so this is what's happening to our cells every time we're putting something into our environment. So it's got a little bit darker there with the coffee. So let's say it gets to, we've rushed off, we're in a hurry to get to work. So
he's not happy.
No.
No, coffee doesn't like it.
You should be
he's sustaining it. But we're in a hurry, so we're going to take one of these lovely breakfast bars. We're going to put that in as well. And these are just like sticky, fatty. So we'll put that in.
No fish were harmed in the creating of this.
No, no. My demonstration last time with a live fish didn't go down too well. And then again it gets to mid-morning, so we're going to have a snack. We're going to go and get a coffee or a drink with friends, and we take a little biscuit or something in there. Rather mucky. And then we will maybe have a soft drink mid-morning. I've chosen Orangina because we're here in France. Put that in there as well.
He's already dead.
So then again, we're on the rush, we're running, we're not thinking about what we're eating, not what we're doing, we're not relaxing. So we'll grab a sandwich. Now this is lovely white bread here. And to be honest, even if you get bread that is masking itself as healthy, whole grain in a plastic packet, it's something to be cautious of. I bought this one in particular because it's got an A rating health-wise on there, which when you look at it, there doesn't look to be anything natural. And this is nothing that you would see in its natural form. And then I know this is all in French, but if you take a look at the ingredients, that's
what's the sell-by date?
2021.
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, 2020.
2040.
It's in 2 weeks' time.
2 weeks.
Vinegar. Alcohol.
Oh, brilliant.
No, that's French.
Yeah, 70% alcohol.
Wheat, 70% wheat.
It
So,
stinks.
70%
It does
wheat.
It
smell.
smells.
yes, it's
Yeah.
worth actually
You can smell it.
smelling like
It's
bread,
really
and,
nice.
and then it's wrapped in plastic as well.
So-
It's also worth reading the label on the Velveeta packet because they very cunningly put the ingredients at the bottom there. Now this looks all healthy and it's got our 5 cereals. But again, just take a look. I know it's all in French, but you can see the additives that are in there. And labelling is possibly one of the most misleading things on any packets that we pick up in the supermarket. There's something like 3,500 different chemicals and additives that they can put into our food, which doesn't have to be listed specifically on the label. And things like hydrogenated fat can also be listed as vegetable oils because they're just hydrogenated vegetable oils. So it's always a good idea to be cautious of what's on those labels when you're picking up packets. And I tend to think that anything that says it's got health food written on it is something to be avoided. Now I put some Orangina in here and Coke, the same, any soft drink really, and even the diet drinks are to be wary because they've got a lot of additives. But a can of Coke has something like 7 teaspoons of sugar. I brought the sugar out just to show you that this is how it's packaged here in France. All nice brown paper packaging, which makes it look like it's healthy and nutritious and good for you. But it's basically pure white refined sugar, which does all sorts of things to our insulin spikes, to our energy levels. Again, I just really wanted to highlight the packaging of food that we see, and then also with our little bon maman tarts that look all homemade and homely with the gingham crosses.
It means grandma.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Messy. Yeah, so this is like grandma's home cooking, which again all comes in a plastic wrapper, and I think probably has an expiry date of at least a year. Yeah, it will probably last forever.
Never gonna move.
So moving on through our day, we've had our sandwich on the run, so we might be feeling a bit of indigestion in the afternoon. So we pop in a Rennie. In goes an indigestion tablet there, and our indigestion goes away. Pop to Rennie. Oh, we're feeling fine. We'll carry on for the afternoon. Now, indigestion, like so many other symptoms, are we can pop a Rennie to address the symptom of our indigestion. We're not actually looking at the cause of what's going on there. So we carry on with our day. Nemo, although he's gone sideways, still looks okay. He's still floating about in the rather nice environment now. And I don't know if you want to come and have a look at what's actually happened to the Velveeta biscuit. It's just kind of come up to sort of puffy globules of just sort of floating in there. So carry on with our day. We're on the commute home. Oh gosh, feeling a bit tired. Let's have a pick-me-up. Let's have some Red Bull. Again, has got a very chemical like smell. And we have a Mars bar. Mars a day helps you work, rest and play. So we'll have that on our way home as well. So as you can see, poor old Nemo now has moved away from his nice, clean, unpolluted environment to something which is less than desirable. And our body has its own filtration system. So I'm just going to grab a napkin. It's all a bit sticky and mucky. And a lot of people say about like juicing, oh, why do you need to detox? What's it, you know, I'm not getting at the medical fraternity here, but like a lot of doctors and people will say, well, you don't need to detox. It's not, the body filters itself. The body has its own filtration system, which it does. And within reason, it can manage with that. But if you think about if you think of like a warehouse that has a capacity of 5 workers, and every day you're getting 50 boxes. So those 5 workers take those 10 boxes in and they load them into the warehouse. And that's fine, everything's working smoothly. But you start bringing in 60 boxes, and you've still got 5 workers, and you've still only got 1 day. So a couple of them, maybe 5 boxes, get left outside. And then the next day, another 60, 65 boxes come. Still got the 5 workers, still got the same amount of space in your warehouse. So some more boxes are getting left. And if you can imagine, that's building up, and building up, and building up. So your filtration system in your body is starting to become overloaded. And then where does the body store those extra boxes? So it's looking to sort of restore this fat, but also you've got a lot of toxicity in there as well, and the body's not able to clear it out. So you're starting to run at less than optimum, let's say. And again, the fish is still doing fine here, but he might start developing a bit of a cough, you know. Quite a good sound, isn't it? So we take some cough syrup. Lots and lots of over-the-counter medications for things, and again, with the indigestion, I've already spoken about the Rennie tablets. Might start getting headaches. That might become an absolute norm, is that, oh, we have a headache. If I come mid-morning, I'm used to getting a headache. Mid-afternoon, have a headache. Don't worry, I take a couple of paracetamol. And I was really shocked during the beginning of the lockdown when I was speaking to friends in the UK, and, excuse me, we were talking about the toilet rolls being off the shelves and the certain thing, pasta disappearing. And at least 3 of my friends were like, oh, I had to stock up on paracetamols, which was the strangest thing. I don't know if that applies to anyone or if you heard that, but it's like paracetamols of all the things to be worried about running out of. But it just shows you how many people are actually reliant on over-the-counter medications. And again, it's not normal for us to have a headache in a normal day. It's not normal for us to be coughing. So we just keep taking those pills, and we're masking the symptoms. We're clearing up the symptoms, but we're not actually addressing what could be causing them, or we're not looking, or we don't think as to what I might be doing that's causing you to have these reactions or these symptoms. And then as you carry on doing this, so as we're going through our day, a bit long-winded now, so we get home and we all deserve a glass of wine. And I think, let's be fair, it's probably going to be more than 1 glass of wine. So we tip some more in, and we feel relaxed, and that's all good. Now I just want to say about red wine as well. We often hear that red wine is good for us, and it's good for cardiovascular. Now there's also been tests done that it's got actually nothing to do with the alcohol in the wine. It's actually it's the tannins in the red wine, and a glass of red grape juice is going to be just as good, if not better. Sorry for the disappointed faces. So this is now looking really murky, and it could be that we start to feel some aches and pains in our joints, that we're starting to, oh, that's my backache, oh, a bit of a knee pain. And again, we might rub some deep heat into that, or we might take more paracetamols or painkillers. Again, without looking at what might be causing that problem. So it's a bit like when you're driving your car and a red light comes on, whatever that could be, and just ignoring the red light. Or worse still, just fixing underneath the bonnet, unplugging the wire so we don't look at the red light anymore. But this is going on, and if you think this is carrying on every day, we're just topping up, Now, I know, of course, the Goldfish role doesn't apply to anyone here, but
Not anymore.
and I think when you, so we've added our pills and our toxins. And then the other thing is, I mean, I've just given you some over-the-counter pills and medication. But I think one of the more worrying things is that when you start having some of these more persistent aches and pains, you might have like some skin problems. We all have heard about people having asthma and eczema. And so if you go to your doctor, more often than not, the doctor is also going to say to you to give you a prescription for more medication. Now, I haven't got any medication here to show you to pop in, but that is effectively, again, adding to the pollution in the environment. I also want to say, for 1 minute, saying that if the doctor puts you on pills or any medication that pharmaceuticals or medical intervention is not important. I'm not saying that for 1 minute, and I know I was speaking yesterday about us doing conferences for the pharmaceutical industry, but I'm not against saying the pharmaceutical industry is all bad, not for 1 minute. And I'm also not saying that juicing is going to be the be all and end all and the saviour of everything, but it's just, we have to be mindful that probably 80%, this is the World Health Organization figure, 80% of all illnesses today are lifestyle related, and with lifestyle that means it's what we're putting in our mouth, as well as the environment in which we live in. So you go to the doctor, you get some more pills, and then you might need to take more pills to counteract the side effects of the other pills that you've been given. So it's just this constant adding to the polluted environment in which our cells are bathing. So what we're trying to do with the juicing, in terms of a detox, is just help our body's own filtration system. So we're removing the toxins and we're replacing the deficiencies. Because when you're eating a diet like this, the body's having to work so hard to try and process it. And it's also coming up against so many unnatural things that it's not designed to cope with or cater for. So what we're doing with a juice detox is removing the toxicity and replacing the deficiencies as much as possible. And we're literally flooding the body with nutrients at a cellular level. So when we're taking in the nutrients in a juice form, they are probably within 15 minutes, they're going into your going through your digestive system and actually into I won't go into the details of how our gastric tract works, but they're being absorbed and they're starting to work straight away. And I think, again, you might start to feel some headache today. We're on sort of day 2 of the juicing. You might start to feel some headache. You might start to feel a bit achy because the body is really starting to get to work now, and it's thanking you for taking away some of the toxicity and really putting in some good nutrients to feed your cells with. So the juicing that we're doing here this week is really addressing lifestyle, and I hope that when you can sort of imagine this, when you go home next week, just to be a bit more mindful about some of the easy things that we grab and we pop into our basket, and to not be fooled by, oh, it's marked with an A health, so it's good for us, it's grandma's cookery, and it's the wine that's relaxing us, and actually I can justify that because it's good for our cardiovascular system. To just be a bit more mindful about the toxicity that you're creating in the environment, and giving your own body's filtration system and your warehouse management team the opportunity to process those boxes in good time and keep you working and functioning optimally. And I suppose the last thing to finish on is let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food.